Heartbreaking loss. Bringing up Bates, Erin and Chad Paine die in tragic accident. It was an ordinary day, one that began with the warmth of family laughter and the quiet comfort of routine. Erin and Chad, beloved by their children, friends, and community, had spent the morning planning the small joys that make life extraordinary. Breakfast together, school preparations for the kids, and the gentle rhythm of ordinary life that often hides its fragility. Nobody imagined that within hours that RTHM would be shattered forever. The news came like a storm without warning. Erin and Chad had been involved in a devastating car accident. The details of the crash were harrowing, but what mattered most was the irreversible truth. Both had died instantly. The shock was unimaginable. For a family already known for its closeness and devotion, the pain was not just a loss. It was an emptiness that words could scarcely touch. Friends and neighbors could hardly process the sudden tragedy. Memories flooded back. Erin's infectious laughter, her unwavering support for everyone around her. Chad's calm strength, his quiet devotion to family life. They were more than a couple. They were the pillars of their household, the guiding lights for their children, and the embodiment of love that seemed unbreakable. Oh, think of them gone in an instant was unbearable. The children, too young to fully comprehend the permanence of the loss, felt the world tilt beneath them. Their parents had been their anchors, their safe havens, the ones who celebrated their smallest victories and comforted them through life's struggles. Now that security was gone. In the quiet corners of the house, the sense of familiar voices echoed louder than any sound, and every photograph, every shared memory, seemed to carry the weight of what had been lost. The community, too, felt the ripples of grief. Messages poured in, heartfelt tributes to a couple who had touched so many lives with their kindness and generosity. Yet, no words could mend the broken hearts of those who had known Erin and Chad most intimately. The tragedy was a stark reminder of life's fragility, how moments of joy can turn into sorrow in the blink of an eye. Even in the midst of unimaginable sorrow, the family tried to cling to the fragments of normalcy. The children were held close and extended family members rallied around them, offering the only solace possible: presence, love, and unwavering support. But the absence of Erin and Chad left a void that no amount of art could fill. Every room, every routine, every laugh and tar now carried the shadow of loss. It was a grief that could not be measured, a sorrow that could not be explained. And yet, in the quiet, there were whispers of hope, the legacy of love and devotion that Erin and Chad had built, a reminder that even in death, their presence would continue to guide, nurture, and inspire. The family, though broken, would carry forward their memory, holding on to the lessons of love, faith, and tenderness that had defined their lives. This was a tragedy that would forever mark the hearts of all who knew them, a story of love and loss that transcends words, a reminder that life, while beautiful, can change in a heartbeat. And as the family faced the unimaginable, the world watched, hearts heavy, mourning not just the lives lost, but the irreplaceable bond of a family torn apart too soon. The house that once echoed with laughter now felt unbearably silent. Every corner seemed to whisper Erin and Chad's absence. The children wandered through familiar spaces, searching for the comforting presence of their parents, their small hands clutching at memories that were suddenly all they had. Breakfasts were skipped, school mornings passed in quiet confusion, and the normal rhythm of life seemed impossible to maintain. The home, once a sanctuary of warmth and love, now held a weight that pressed on every heart. Family and friends arrived, bringing meals, hugs, and kind words, but nothing could fill the void left by Erin and Chad. Their neighbors remembered seeing the couple last week, smiles bright, waving as they drove past. Now those everyday moments felt like echoes from another world. Memories of ordinary mornings, bedtime stories, shared jokes, and whispered advice now carried a piercing sense of finality. Every photograph seemed frozen in time, a reminder of life that once was and would never be again. For the children, grief was a storm they could not name. Some cried quietly in the corners of their rooms, some clung desperately to siblings, and some stared blankly, trying to make sense of a reality that refused to make sense. School became a distant memory. Friends' calls were answered with a hollow, "I'm okay," even though nothing could be okay anymore. Every bedtime was a struggle, every meal a challenge, and every moment a reminder of the parents they would never see again. The extended family tried to shoulder the impossible, gathering around the children with love and care that was fierce yet tender. They told stories of Erin and Chad, the small acts of kindness, the quiet sacrifices, the laughter that could brighten even the darkest day. In these stories, the children found fragments of comfort, pieces of the parents' love that still lingered. Yet, the pain of reality was relentless, the absence constant, the loss impossible to escape. Friends and community members shared tributes online and in person, speaking of Erin and Chad's generosity, warmth, and dedication. But even as the world mourned alongside them, the family faced a solitude that could not be shared. The grief was theirs alone, intimate and raw, and it seeped into every corner of their lives. Simple things, opening the mailbox, hearing the garage door close, seeing the driveway empty, became unbearable reminders of what had been lost. In the nights when the house was quiet, the weight of sorrow pressed heaviest. Parents who had known them, friends who had loved them, even strangers who had admired them, all felt a sense of helplessness. How do you continue when the anchors of your life are gone? How do you breathe in a world that has suddenly turned cold and hollow? Yet, even in that darkness, there were moments of quiet resilience. The family clung to memories, to love, to each other, seeking small sparks of comfort in the midst of devastation. Grief became the family's uninvited companion, present in every glance, every silence, every hesitant smile. Yet it also reminded them of what had been. The life Erin and Chad had built, the love they had shared, the joy they had sown into every day. And slowly, painfully, that love began to be the only light in the darkness, the only hope that could guide them forward, even as the world felt irreparably broken. In the midst of unimaginable sorrow, life demanded continuation. Meals had to be prepared, children needed care, chores had to be done. Every action carried the weight of absence. Every gesture became an act of courage. And through it all, one truth remained unshakable. Erin and Chad's love had left an imprint so deep that even death could not erase it. It lived on in their children, in the memories, in the very walls of the home that had once been filled with warmth, now echoing with enduring love. The days stretched endlessly, each one heavier than the last. Time seemed to have slowed, but the weight of reality remained relentless. Erin and Chad's absence was not just felt in the silence of the house or the empty chairs at the table. It was felt in every heartbeat, in every breath, in every step the family took. The children, each carrying their own unique grief, leaned on one another as much as they could, yet the burden was immense. Every smile was tinged with sorrow, every laugh shadowed by loss, every ordinary moment a reminder that their world had changed forever. Extended family members and close friends became lifelines, offering help where words could not reach. Yet, despite the love surrounding them, the family felt an unbridgeable gap. Erin's gentle voice, Chad's steady presence gone. The routines that had once seemed mundane now felt sacred, their absence a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The world outside continued as if nothing had happened, but inside that home, life was irreversibly altered. Memories became both a comfort and a torment. Childhood stories Erin had told, lessons Chad had quietly taught, the simple acts of love that had woven the family together. These recollections brought both smiles and tears. There were evenings when the children would sit together, recounting moments that now felt impossibly precious. A shared joke, a bedtime ritual, the soft murmur of a loving conversation, fragments of a life that could not be lived again. The community, too, could feel the ripple of the tragedy. Neighbors, friends, even strangers who had admired Erin and Chad's devotion to family expressed their grief and sympathy. Yet, it was the intimate sorrow, the personal grief within the walls of the home, that was most profound. The family realized that healing would not come swiftly, that the process of moving forward would be painful, and that each day would bring new challenges they had never imagined facing. Some moments were unbearable. Walking past the places where Erin and Chad used to sit, hearing their favorite songs, seeing the toys and belongings that remained, every small detail became a catalyst for waves of grief. Nights were the hardest, when the quiet pressed against their hearts and the enormity of the loss was inescapable. The children, sometimes waking in panic or confusion, were reminded that the parents they relied on most were gone. Yet, even in despair, the family began to find moments of resilience. They held tightly to one another, sharing tears and memories, supporting each other in ways only a family united by love could. Each act of care, each hug, each whispered word of encouragement became an act of survival, a declaration that life, though altered, must continue. Erin and Chad's love, etched into every corner of their home and every habit of their children, became a guiding force, a quiet presence that inspired them to carry on. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. The raw shock of loss gradually softened into a deep, aching grief that could be carried alongside the responsibilities of life. Birthdays, holidays, and milestones came and went, forever marked by Erin and Chad's absence. The family learned to navigate these moments with courage, drawing strength from the love that remained, and honoring the memory of those they had lost with every step forward. Through the darkness there emerged a fragile, tender light. The family realized that grief, while unrelenting, was also a testament to the love that had been shared. It was a love so deep, so transformative, that even death could not erase it. And so in their sorrow they found purpose, to live fully, to love fiercely, and to ensure that Erin and Chad's legacy of devotion, kindness, and family remained alive in every heartbeat, every memory, and every choice they made. The tragedy had changed everything, yet it also revealed the enduring power of love. Even in loss there was connection. Even in heartbreak there was hope. And as the family moved forward, carrying the weight of grief alongside the warmth of memories, the world watched, hearts heavy but inspired by a love that would never truly end. The weeks following the accident were an endless blur of grief, yet life demanded presence and attention. Every day was a delicate balance between mourning and continuing, between sorrow and the responsibilities that refused to pause for heartbreak. The children, though shattered, began to discover the resilience hidden within them, the quiet strength that Erin and Chad had nurtured in every hug, every lesson, every word of encouragement. Their parents' love became a silent guide, shaping their actions even in absence, whispering courage when they felt weak, offering warmth when the world seemed unbearably cold. Family gatherings, once filled with laughter and energy, now carried a hushed reverence. Every story told, every memory shared, was a tribute to lives that had been lost too soon. The children spoke of their parents with a mixture of awe and sorrow, recounting small, intimate details that outsiders might overlook. Erin's way of tucking blankets, Chad's quiet morning routine, the laughter that always filled the kitchen. These memories, though bittersweet, became a foundation, a way to feel their parents' presence in a world that seemed determined to remind them of absence. School and friendships became complex terrains to navigate. Peers expressed sympathy, teachers offered support, yet the children's grief remained deeply personal, an intimate experience that no external words could fully reach. Some nights were unbearable, with tears spilling over as they silently recalled the voices they would never hear again, the embraces they would never feel, the guidance they had always relied on now permanently gone. The family's extended support network, though unwavering, could not erase the profound sense of loss. Even the smallest gestures, like a friend offering a meal or a neighbor sending a kind note, were reminders of the love Erin and Chad had inspired in the community, love that now surrounded the children as a lifeline, fragile yet essential. And in these gestures the family began to see that grief, while consuming, also revealed the depth of human connection, the bonds that endure even when those we love are no longer physically present. As months passed, the children began to navigate their grief with small acts of courage. Morning routines, once filled with the sound of Erin and Chad's voices, were now undertaken with determination and trembling strength. They clung to rituals, to memories, to the invisible threads of love that held them together. Every accomplishment, every small victory became a tribute to the parents who had nurtured them, a quiet acknowledgement that while life had changed irrevocably, the essence of Erin and Chad lived on in every action, every thought, every choice. The holidays were especially difficult. Family traditions, once so joyous, now carried a bittersweet weight. Yet, even in sorrow, the family found ways to honor Erin and Chad's memory, lighting candles, telling stories, sharing photographs, creating new memories rooted in love and remembrance. In these moments, the children experienced a mixture of grief and gratitude, a recognition that while the world could not return them to their parents, it could allow them to carry their spirit forward. Through it all, a remarkable transformation began. Grief, while unrelenting, became a testament to love's enduring power. The children, shaped by Erin and Chad's devotion, began to find purpose in honoring their legacy. Acts of kindness, small gestures of care, and the preservation of family traditions became expressions of resilience, proof that love, even when accompanied by sorrow, could inspire life in the darkest of times. And so, amidst the shadows of loss, the family found a fragile yet profound hope. Erin and Chad's presence, though absent in form, remained alive in every memory, every shared smile, every act of courage. The tragedy that had once threatened to break them became a reminder of the strength and love that endures beyond life itself. In holding on to each other, in honoring their parents' memory, the children discovered that even in heartbreak, there is a path forward, illuminated by the love that can never truly be extinguished. Time, though relentless, began to weave a delicate thread of healing through the family's life. The raw, jagged edges of grief remained, but amidst the sorrow, moments of tenderness and resilience began to emerge. The children, carrying Erin and Chad's love within them, started to take small steps toward a life reshaped by loss but not defined by it. Every meal prepared, every bed made, every whispered word of encouragement between siblings became an act of quiet heroism, a testament to the strength instilled by the parents they had lost. Friends and community members continued to surround the family with love and support, but it was the intimacy of shared grief within the household that became the most powerful force. Tears were shed together, memories recounted in the hush of evening, and laughter, though tinged with sorrow, began to find its way back into the home. Slowly, the children realized that honoring Erin and Chad's memory did not mean endless mourning. It meant living fully, carrying forward the love and values their parents had exemplified. In the quiet hours, the children often remembered the small lessons that Erin and Chad had imparted: the importance of kindness, the value of patience, the unwavering commitment to family. These lessons, though spoken softly in ordinary moments, now rang loudly in the absence of their voices. Each child, in their own way, embraced these teachings, finding guidance and purpose in the echoes of love that surrounded them. Family traditions, once overshadowed by sorrow, began to regain meaning. Birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays were approached with a reverence that mingled joy and remembrance. Candles were lit, stories were shared, and photographs were carefully placed to remind the children of the love that had shaped them. In these acts, grief and hope coexisted, sorrow that acknowledged loss, and gratitude for the enduring presence of Erin and Chad in memory and spirit. The community, too, watched with quiet admiration as the family navigated life after unimaginable loss. Neighbors, friends, and extended family witnessed courage that was both fragile and formidable, a resilience born not of denial but of love. Erin and Chad's legacy, etched in the hearts of their children, inspired those around them, showing that even in the wake of tragedy, life could be lived with purpose and devotion. Some days were still unbearably heavy. A glance at a vacant chair, a quiet corner where laughter once lived, or a song that had been a favorite of Erin or Chad could trigger waves of grief. Yet, the children learned to hold these moments gently, allowing themselves to feel the ache of loss while also embracing the warmth of memory. Grief became a companion, not a jailer, a presence that reminded them of the depth of love, rather than a force that demanded surrender. As time moved forward, small victories began to accumulate. The children's laughter returned more fully, the home grew warmer, and the family learned to navigate life with both sorrow and hope intertwined. In every step, Erin and Chad's influence remained palpable. In acts of kindness, in moments of courage, in the determination to face each day with love as their guide. The tragedy that had once seemed insurmountable now became a catalyst for growth, for deepened bonds, and for a commitment to living lives worthy of the parents they had lost. In the end, the story of Erin and Chad's passing was not only one of loss but of enduring love. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, to the power of family, and to the ways in which love can transcend absence. Their legacy lived on in the children who carried their lessons, in the home that still echoed with memories, and in the hearts of all who had known them. The darkness of grief had not vanished, but it had been softened by the enduring light of love, guiding the family forward, step by step, into a future shaped by memory, hope, and the unbreakable bond of family. Months had passed since the unimaginable loss, yet the weight of Erin and Chad's absence was never far from the family's hearts. Each day brought new challenges, subtle reminders of the life that had been abruptly taken away. And yet, in the midst of sorrow, the family began to uncover a quiet, resilient strength. It was not a sudden or miraculous recovery, but a steady, determined commitment to live fully, honor their parents, and nurture one another through the darkness. The children, shaped by love and loss alike, began to embody the lessons Erin and Chad had instilled in them. They discovered patience in times of frustration, kindness in moments of tension, and courage when faced with tasks that felt impossible. The home, once heavy with silence, began to hum again with the gentle rhythm of daily life. Small acts, a shared meal, a whispered reassurance, a careful embrace, became profound symbols of survival, tangible ways of keeping their parents' spirit alive. Family traditions, carefully preserved and lovingly maintained, became lifelines. The birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions, though marked by absence, were now filled with intention. The children told stories of their parents, laughed at memories both ordinary and extraordinary, and shed tears that honored the depth of the love they had known. Each memory became a thread weaving them closer together, a testament to Erin and Chad's enduring influence in shaping who they had become. Outside the home, the community continued to offer support. Friends shared in the grief, neighbors checked in with thoughtful gestures, and even strangers were touched by the story of a family navigating unimaginable sorrow with grace and courage. Yet, the true resilience was private. In the quiet moments between siblings, in the unspoken understanding that love, even in absence, could carry them forward. Some days were unbearable. An empty seat, a familiar song, a photograph on the mantel. Each became a conduit for grief that threatened to overwhelm. Yet the family learned to embrace the pain, allowing themselves to feel it fully, and then to gently release it. It was a process of acceptance, not forgetting, a way of holding the love and the loss together in a fragile, unbreakable balance. In these moments, the legacy of Erin and Chad became more than memories. It became a living force guiding the children's actions, shaping their values, and inspiring the choices they made each day. The love that had once surrounded them in presence now surrounded them in spirit, a quiet whisper in their hearts that reminded them to care, to love, and to hold on to one another. Even amidst heartbreak, the family began to glimpse hope. Small joys, a shared laugh, a successful school project, a comforting embrace, became proof that life could continue, and that Erin and Chad's influence would never fade. Each act of resilience was a tribute, each moment of courage a reflection of a love so deep that even death could not diminish it. The tragedy had carved a permanent scar in their lives, but it had also revealed the extraordinary depth of their strength. Together, the family learned that healing is not the absence of grief, but the presence of love, enduring, guiding, and ever-present. Erin and Chad's memory became a compass, directing their lives with lessons of compassion, dedication, and unwavering familial devotion. Through every trial, every tear, every quiet reflection, the children and family members discovered that grief, while relentless, could coexist with love, with hope, and with the courage to face each new day. Their parents' lives, though cut short, had left a profound mark, a legacy that could not be erased, a love that could not be broken, and a bond that would carry them through the darkest nights into a future shaped by memory, resilience, and enduring devotion. As the seasons changed, the family slowly began to navigate life with Erin and Chad's absence woven into every moment. The ache of loss was never far, but it no longer consumed every breath. In its place, a quiet determination began to emerge, a desire to honor the love that had shaped them, and to live lives that reflected the values their parents had instilled. Every act of kindness, every gesture of courage, every shared smile became a tribute, a way to keep Erin and Chad present even when they were physically gone. The children, each in their own way, started to find meaning in their grief. Some threw themselves into schoolwork, inspired to excel as a testament to the parents who had believed in them. Others discovered solace in creative expression, drawing, writing, music, pouring their emotions into outlets that allowed their sorrow and love to coexist. And in every choice, the essence of Erin and Chad's teachings shone through: compassion, resilience, and unwavering dedication to family. Family traditions, once painful reminders of absence, slowly transformed into celebrations of legacy. Birthdays and holidays were infused with memories, stories, and laughter, honoring the parents whose love had been the foundation of their lives. Candles were lit, photographs lovingly displayed, and stories were shared that captured not only the sadness of loss but the joy of having loved and been loved. Through these rituals, grief and hope danced together, shaping a path forward that neither denied the past nor abandoned the future. The community, ever supportive, watched with awe as the family demonstrated a resilience that seemed impossible in the wake of such tragedy. Friends, neighbors, and extended relatives offered assistance, words of comfort, and unwavering presence. But it was the family's own determination that stood as the most profound testament to Erin and Chad's enduring influence. The legacy of love they left behind became a guiding light, illuminating the darkness with quiet strength. Even amidst moments of sorrow, small joys began to bloom. The laughter of children echoed through the house once again, a fragile yet powerful reminder that life continues. Shared meals, bedtime stories, and gentle conversations wove the family together, reinforcing bonds that tragedy had tested, but could never sever. Each smile, each hug, each whispered word of encouragement became an affirmation. Though Erin and Chad were gone, their love remained alive, thriving in the hearts of those they had nurtured. As the family embraced hope, they also found a deeper understanding of love's permanence. Erin and Chad's presence, though invisible, was palpable in every lesson taught, every act of kindness, every moment of courage. Grief, once a heavy burden, became a companion that reminded them of the extraordinary depth of what they had lost, while simultaneously guiding them toward the life they were still meant to live. Through the months of mourning and the gradual journey toward healing, the family discovered that even in heartbreak, there can be light. Love, memory, and resilience became the pillars upon which they rebuilt their world. Every challenge faced, every sorrow endured, every quiet triumph achieved carried the imprint of Erin and Chad's influence. Their legacy was no longer just a memory. It was a living force, shaping the future, inspiring courage, and reminding the family that love once sown can never truly be lost. In this journey of sorrow and hope, the family learned the most profound lesson of all, that even in the face of unimaginable loss, life continues, love endures, and the bonds forged through devotion and care can carry the human heart through the darkest storms. And so, with tears still lingering, but hearts strengthened by memory and love, the family moved forward, holding Erin and Chad close in spirit, and allowing their legacy to illuminate the path ahead, guiding each step with love, courage, and the enduring power of family. As time slowly moved forward, the family reached a place where grief and love could coexist in a delicate, yet profound balance. Erin and Chad's absence was still felt in every heartbeat, but the family had learned to carry their memory not as a burden, but as a guiding light. Each day became an opportunity to honor the love, lessons, and legacy that had been left behind. A legacy built on devotion, kindness, and unwavering commitment to family. The children, once fragile and uncertain, began to find strength not only in one another, but within themselves. Each success, each act of care for a sibling or a friend, each step taken into the wider world, was a tribute to Erin and Chad. Their parents' influence was evident in every decision, every gesture, and every word. A constant reminder that while life had taken them too soon, their love would never truly fade. Family rituals, carefully preserved and lovingly carried forward, became both healing and empowering. Birthdays were celebrated with tears and laughter intertwined. Stories of Erin and Chad's kindness and devotion were retold, becoming pillars of inspiration for the next generation. Photographs, letters, and mementos filled the home with tangible reminders of a love that could never be erased. In these moments, grief was transformed into reverence, sadness into appreciation, and memory into action. Even the smallest moments took on new significance. A child's first school play, a quiet evening of shared reflection, a smile offered to a friend in need. Each was a testament to the life and love of Erin and Chad. The family had learned to see beauty in the continuation of life, to recognize that honoring their parents meant living fully, loving deeply, and carrying forward the values that had been instilled with such care and devotion. The community continued to support them, bearing witness to a resilience that seemed almost sacred. Friends, neighbors, and extended family saw not only sorrow, but also courage, determination, and an unbreakable bond forged in the crucible of grief. Erin and Chad's impact extended beyond the home, inspiring all who knew them to cherish love, family, and the fleeting nature of life. Through it all, the family discovered an enduring truth, that grief, while inevitable, does not diminish love. Instead, it magnifies it, allowing the memory of those lost to shine brighter, influencing choices, actions, and relationships. Erin and Chad's life, though tragically cut short, became a source of enduring guidance, a beacon for their children, and a legacy of love that would shape generations to come. In this delicate dance between sorrow and hope, the family found meaning. They learned to laugh again, to celebrate milestones, to comfort one another, and to embrace life fully, carrying forward the light of Erin and Chad's love. Grief remained, but it was softened by memory. Heartbreak persisted, but it was tempered by hope. Every moment, every decision, every act of love became a living tribute, a way to honor the parents who had given them everything, yet were no longer physically present. As the family looked toward the future, they did so with hearts both heavy and hopeful, carrying Erin and Chad within them in ways that could never be broken. Their story became not only a testament to loss, but a celebration of life, love, and enduring family bonds. Through tears, through sorrow, through the quiet moments of reflection, they embraced a profound truth: that the power of love is eternal, that legacy can transcend even death, and that a family united in devotion can weather any storm, find light in the darkest times, and continue forward, guided always by the love that began with Erin and Chad. There are losses that shake the very foundation of the heart, and the passing of Erin and Chad was one such loss. For the family, every day began and ended with the quiet ache of absence, a reminder that two lives, so full of love, laughter, and devotion, had been taken too soon. Yet, even in the depths of grief, their presence lingered. In the children's memories, in the home they had built, and in the invisible threads of love that bound the family together. The children often sat together in the stillness of the evening, holding one another tightly, tears falling freely, speaking in whispers of the parents they had lost. The house, once heavy with silence, now echoed with the soft sounds of remembrance. A shared story, a recalled joke, a quiet song Erin loved, or a memory of Chad's calm, steady presence. Each memory carried a weight that was both beautiful and unbearable, a bittersweet blend of sorrow and love. Extended family and friends watched as the family navigated their sorrow with courage that seemed almost impossible. Every act of care, every gesture of kindness, every small step forward became a tribute, proof that Erin and Chad's legacy was not confined to memory, but lived on through every heartbeat, every choice, every connection forged in their honor. The children learned that while grief is relentless, love endures, unbroken, unyielding, eternal. The nights were still the hardest. Shadows seemed longer, silences heavier, and the absence of voices once so familiar felt like a physical ache. Yet, in those moments, the children would close their eyes and feel Erin and Chad's love enveloping them, a warmth that reminded them that some bonds cannot be severed by death, that love transcends the boundaries of time and space, and that the heart remembers what the world may take away. Each family ritual, each shared memory, each quiet tribute became an affirmation of life, love, and legacy. They lit candles, recounted stories, and laughed through tears, discovering that honoring their parents meant living fully, even when sorrow lingered. The weight of grief, though never gone, softened with the realization that Erin and Chad's spirit lived on in every kind word, every courageous choice, and every act of love the children offered to the world. In time, the family embraced a profound truth: love is eternal. Death may take the presence of those we cherish, but it cannot erase the impact they have had on our lives. Erin and Chad's devotion, kindness, and unwavering commitment to family remained alive in the children they raised, the love they nurtured, and the memories that would forever illuminate the family's path. And so, amidst tears and heartache, there was hope. The children, though forever changed, carried forward a legacy of love so deep and enduring that it became their guiding light. In the quiet moments, in the laughter amidst sorrow, in the simple acts of care for one another, the family discovered that while loss leaves a wound, love leaves a mark that time cannot diminish. Erin and Chad may have departed too soon, but their love remained, powerful, unending, and eternal. It lived in the home, in the hearts of their children, and in the very essence of the family they had created. Through grief, through tears, through every ache of absence, the family learned to live with love as their compass, carrying Erin and Chad in their hearts forever. And in that enduring love there was a quiet, unshakable hope, that even in life's darkest moments, love remains. It never fades, it never dies, and it continues to guide, to nurture, and to remind us that some bonds are eternal, unbroken by time, unshaken by tragedy, and unextinguished by death. Erin and Chad's story, though marked by loss, became a testament to the everlasting power of love, a love that would forever illuminate the lives of those left behind.